Well, hello, beautiful artisans and YouTubers and everybody out there. Happy Friday. Um, I've got so much, I really have a lot to share with you. Um, so I jumped on a little early because it's nice and cool right now. I think it is going to be cool for the rest of the day. And I wanted to get on here and be able to get a few minutes to first tell everybody I'm very grateful that you are with me and following me and commenting, giving suggestions. And I see that we have new members, and I'm so happy to have you on board. And it's this is what it's all about, is a community. So we will be both over on let me put it this way. I am sharing this live with Patreon, but going through YouTube. And this is how we'll be doing our lives as we've been doing them, basically. But yes, I wanted to welcome all the new artisans and YouTubers jumping on board and sharing their projects. They are artists. I am very impressed with a lot of you. You are amazingly talented, and some of you are not even sharing your work. But I'll tell you something. It's really difficult to begin the process of sharing your work. And then when you do it and you start developing a routine, it does in that way become easier. It's almost like becoming conscious of really when you're going to get that creative time to yourself. But some of you are amazing, and I have all kinds of artists here following, and I'm so impressed. So, with that, what I wanted to share a number of things with you today, and I have my coffee because I usually lose my voice in the middle of this. And we're going to get rain today here in Vermont, so it's really muggy out. But anyway, I just wanted to share that too. So this weekend, this piece, and I don't, yeah, I guess you can see it. This piece I shared with you. I can't take it off because I have it kind of jerry rigged right now just so it stays flat and it's hanging up. But this piece did get accepted into our a local exhibit. So it will be displayed over on that exhibit in June. And I will be most definitely sharing that when it's up at the exhibit. I'll take like a little video of it and share that with you. Sometimes the exhibits, if you're interested in getting into exhibits, sometimes the exhibits um give you ample time. Many times they'll give you ample, like 3 months. Some of them go month to month, and they're like just little local exhibits. And and you'll know, like, if they're month to month, you'll just keep an eye out for them, but the themes change. So it's like, how fast do you want to work? This piece, I felt a little pressure, but I knew I could get a piece done in a couple of weeks. If I was going to be happy with it, would I have time to do it over? Definitely not. So I went with kind of just went with that idea that it might work, it might not work. So I did it, and I submitted it, and it I'll bring it over there I guess next week. We only have about a week left of May. So a couple things I wanted to share with you. Because this channel, one of the things I um I noticed in my life is I took more and more time to gravitate towards creating pieces of art that were eco-friendly. That's from getting textiles to painting and do a mixed media on cardboard, which I can share some of that with you too. That's be a whole video in itself, but I will be happy to do that. And painting or drawing, on recycled paper, where you can find the recycled art paper. Nowadays, you can find it just about anywhere. So, but as I became more and more conscious of that, that's how all of these projects really started. Is I wanted to see, I was researching all of the eco-friendly projects. So with that, I'm going to share with you a little bit of my process. So these um these are like little scrap, um you guys call them ruffles. So they're lace, and they're not that old. These are not that old, and these were at the thrift shop. But these were wrapped around this plastic piece. And if you look at this, so I took them off because I want to put these in the drawer. And if you look at this plastic piece, this could be a perfect um, prop, if you will, for your art and craft table. So it would be something that you could hang things on, or something that you could use, even if you're sending something in the mail and you want a buffer or something. Anyway, this is why I'm keeping it, because I'm not thinking necessarily of an art project, but I'm thinking of um more of um a part of a display on my table for arts and crafts. Now, with that said, um kind of along those lines, this is another thing that this is how it happens with me. I just have to share. In a box that we got of these shelves. So these shelves came in a really big box because these had to be assembled. They didn't come just like that. So in the box were all of these. Wait till you see these. These are corrugated cardboard. And when I say that, I mean super thick cardboard. And if you look at them, these too could be used as like a little prop. But there's four of these, and then there's these. And I have not a clue what I would do with these. But the reason I'm keeping them is because I do mixed media painting and whatnot on cardboard. And look at these. And I mean, I got a lot here. I won't bring them all up. But this is actually this is very solid. This is more solid than a cork board. That's like wood. And there's more. Look at all of these. So, I looked at them and I'm thinking, maybe I'll make a bridge out of this because I could do two submissions, but I'm not going to. I don't have enough time and I don't want to make a bridge out of these. Plus, I'm not an engineer. But look at all of these. So now look, look at this one. This is something, this is how I was thinking. With my needle felting, first of all, something I made a long time ago, and I make, are little raccoons. So I was thinking like this could be a little prop if I paint it, and maybe it's a little raccoon. Maybe there's a family of raccoons, a needle felted coming out of that. So I'm thinking of my needle felted with this. But this, if you look at it, I don't have any tacks with me, but I have a pin. I have a pin, but the pin goes in beautifully, right? I could use this easily, stands up by itself. it's very lightweight. So, and when you go to an art and craft show, you are lugging all of your stuff. Now, I'll tell you a secret. I use a shopping cart. I put everything in it from my car. I do one full swing, one walk. That's it. Oh, hi. Hi, Mimi from Alabama. So happy to have you. How's Alabama weather? We've got muggy, kind of rainy weather coming in today here. And it was hot yesterday. I'll tell you what, when it gets hot like that, it is difficult to do art, I will tell you. Hot and sunny. Hot and sunny. Well, you're just let's see, you're out of the path of all of the storms right now that are going through. I listen to the weather. I'll listen to it like first thing in the morning. Of course I didn't listen to it this morning, but I know that Midwest keeps getting like from Texas kind of up, but it's going around, I think, Alabama from what I'm noticing. Well, welcome. So happy to have you. Yeah, I was just going over all the scrap fabric, scrap materials, and this is how it happens. These were in a box, and I'm like, typically I would just put them in recycle, but I'm thinking I definitely need more props for my table and for whatever it is, like my needle felting. Something that also um I was thinking, like with this one, I have a little saw, like a art and craft saw, and that was gifted to me by my son, and I think that was my last birthday. And but it's exactly for this type of deal. I could saw this in half easily, and the bear that will be done this weekend, this bear will be done this weekend. But this could be a nice little platform almost perfectly for this bear. And I mean, this bear can stand up, like if I gave it even a wider platform. I got my notebook here. Let me move this. I got my notebook because I have a lot to share with you today. I have so much to share today because I'm not going to be jumping on here this weekend. We need the weekend to revamp, especially as an artist. You need it to be creative and just and plus I'm going to the guild, so I'll tell you all about that too. But yeah, so look, this bear, this would be a wonderful platform for the bear. So I'm thinking of that, and I'm not sure yet how I would have it. But why not have a platform just for the bear? Because as it is, I sell the bears with no platform, no platform. So when someone buys it, they have to get their own platform. But maybe this is and I'm thinking because it's cardboard, look, I could make little indentations in here. So, because I really don't want to, let me tell you, if you're interested in needle felting, this is just my thoughts on it. Having been a needle felting artist for so many years, and I have pieces, I will tell you, that are 20 years old. I do. Like this, right? I think I even have a bunny here I can share with you. Um, this bunny is 20. You would not believe it. This one, actually, I was realizing this morning, this isn't one of my recent ones. This one is 20 years old. And the reason I remembered how old, it's actually older than that, this one. And I remember this because I had put this on the internet and I had gotten the oddest comment on this bunny. This is old. So now this is what I was going to say. So with needle felting, when it gets older, there may be air pockets. There's because wool breathes. So there's going to be air pockets that might fill with air a little bit more over the years. And and when that happens, if you have wire armature in in your um needle felted piece. It's some people do. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it is if you have the armature in your piece, it's definitely something that you want to keep your eye on and see if the wire is working its way towards the surface of your piece in any way, because it's more apt to happen over a length of time, like, 15, 20 years. And my pieces, they're heirlooms and collectibles, so I want them to last a long time. Will air still work its way in because I don't have armature? Yes. Will it be easier to revamp? Yes. The wool will be easier to revamp. There won't be the worry of the armature working its way out through the bottom or over in the sides because there's no armature in there, but this is solid. So, I mean, these are going to last a long time. Now, the other thing is if I have a stand that has, and there's because there are these stands that will hug the piece. So we'll hug it. And I have one of those. It's like a doll stand. So it hugs the piece. And then there's another that's a wire, that's a metal. And you put it in the metal is spike and it spikes up into the piece. So they do that with wood and some people who work with cement and whatnot, or clay and pottery will do it. Now, if you do it with this piece, you can do it with a piece like this. But if you do that, being mindful that as a textile artist, it is clearly going to breathe over time. So that spike or that piece of metal that's sticking up in your piece, in time, it can make more an air pockets around it and become loose, or it could work its way up here if you're shifting and moving and pushing, like you keep centering it or whatever you're doing. So these are the reasons I don't put the spikes and whatnot in my pieces. Now, the stands that hug, like they're wire coming around and hugging your needle felted piece or your needle felted dowel, in time, that too will become loose. So just because this will start to breathe, it breathes in its air. So I think the best way to have a piece like this, and I'm just going to put this down so you can see. The best way to do this is have something, I'm just using this as an example, is have something under it so the piece is actually, and I would not have this be a triangle. I'd rather have it be square like this, but thicker. But so it's kind of just the legs end up just kind of hugging that cardboard or piece of wood or whatever it is that you're using to just help your piece balance. So, anyway, those are just my thoughts, and that's just kind of how I sell my pieces. Um, I have the two bears that are over at the guild right now. Those two bears are sitting on pieces of wood. So they're nice and balanced, but there's nothing sticking in under the piece at all. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you about the needle felted pieces, and especially if you're getting into needle felting. And you want to stay eco-friendly, and these are just ideas, and they're right under our noses sometimes. Like I said, this was all in a box that the shelves came in. So, um, let's see. Now, there's so much more to share with you here. Um, okay, so and we're gonna get to the yo-yos. I'm gonna use the yo-yos as last. So the other thing is, oh yes, this is what I wanted to show you. I was gifted a bag of denim. All this is denim. And I had to wash these because the artist who gave them to me, she said, wash them because they've been sitting in the closet for some time. So, but she gave me the most absolutely perfect. These couldn't have been any more perfect. And there was no way she could know. Is I was scouting out for a very light blue denim. Now, these are shirts, okay? Now, this, I'm just reaching for, this is a model head styrofoam that I bought so I could start making my hats. This is, I mean, I'm just going to, now these have to be cut in such a way, but I just like to test out kind of the fabric, like just to see what it looks like its color is what I'm really looking. That's adorable. You could even make a turban out of that. Oh, that's really cute. So I might do that. This would have to be a little longer. Like, how perfect is that for summer? This is how these things happen. Like, I wasn't even thinking that, but I'm loving the look of that because it's light, it's summery, and I could do a little Boro Sashiko here, and I love that. So, but this, I usually test it on like that, um, because I like to get it little bit more perspective of the color for a hat. But look at this. I mean, this is a not these are nice. Like I bet you these are Levi's or so. Oh, they are. Yeah, Levi's. I hate to even cut them up, but I mean, look at that. Look at that. How adorable. I don't even know if I could do that again. Just put that on there. That's yeah, I'm going to make some turbans. Boro Sashiko turbans. I'm not going to do much more. I'm going to cut this. It will need a lining, and I will give it some Boro Sashiko stitching. It will need a backing and a lining. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm thinking it's summer. Why do I want a backing and a lining? Because look, if I use just this sleeve has got to be 20 something inches long. This is, good morning. This has got to be, this is 25 inches long. How perfect is that? So, a lady's turban, a turban, it's going to be average size 22-inch long or 22-inch diameter. Approximately, you want at least that. It slides on most women's heads. 23 is a large. This is 25, so I have plenty to work with. But look, why would I even bother? I'm just thinking out loud at this point. With a lining and all of it. That's just yeah. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you. Levi, this is quality denim. And if I leave the top open, I'm going to make one for myself. I'm going to be honest with you. This I'm making for me. Now you've seen me wear my wrap that has a little Boro Sashiko design on it. I love that. And the reason I love it is that it's tied in the back, but it's soft around my ears. Now I have other hair pieces to hold my hair back, and they're tight around my ears, up around my ears. But that piece I made is all soft, it's stretchy, it feels good. And this is just beautiful. So yeah, so that's another thing to the project. This is how it happens. But these items that this woman gave me, she's an artist, and we will be together tomorrow. By the way, I'm going to get into that what I'm doing this weekend. So look, I got two shirts, two, and these are men's sizes. And now look at the jeans. Now these were all I put these through the washing machine and dried them as she suggested. I did not mess around. She said they were sitting. Look at the jeans. These have a natural worn out leg to them. So, these are a pair of jeans. Again, they're Levi. Now, I'm going to tell you, as an artist, if you do anything like you take a brand name, you want to always be transparent that you are. And let's say you take a brand name and you do your Boro Sashiko and you sell it and this and that. Always check into and be learned on your legal responsibilities, because this is Levi. So, if I was to up purpose this, I would say something like Levi repurposed, like that. And with Boro Sashiko, hand stitched, whatever, design on the leg and this and that. But you always want to be careful about that. And now I don't do things like that. I don't do things like that yet. Now, many people have asked me, and I mean many people have asked me, because they'll see my Boro Sashiko wristlet or cuff. They'll say, do you make clothes? And someone asked me that very recently. And I've made vests from needle felted and Nuno felted. And I did those when I was doing my wet felting rugs and all of that. But I don't typically do clothes. Like I'll crochet a vest. I crochet vests. I do the accessories like vest, hats, the granny square warmers. Those are going to arts and crafts show. I'll be showing you how to do those again, because I showed everybody how to do those on TikTok this last year, and I made a bunch of them for the arts and crafts show. They went very well. I'm going to tell you. These granny square hand warmers went super well. So anyway, I'm super excited about these. These are the scrap fabrics I will be using and putting in my stash, I should say. But focusing primarily on using that white denim, because that light blue denim, in my opinion, is really hard to scout. I haven't found any, but so there she handed it right to me. I couldn't believe it. Um, so now, anyway, with that, I feel like I'm in a classroom here. So with my notebook, this is next, artisans. So this weekend I'm going to be at the your projects always get me excited. I'm so happy. Well, that's what it's about, is to get you inspired, excited, motivated, because I don't know about you, but I mean, the life of an artist, I mean, when they come up with those cliches, and they do that, the art, oh, if you're an artist, you're always poor and this and that. Well, yeah, because we have no venues to sell our stuff that's easy to get into. You've got exhibits that like this piece I was going over with you, you do the registration, you do the picture, the submission, you have to do the piece and be happy with it. It has to be by the theme. But the thing is, the venues that are out there for us artists are somewhat limited, is what I'm trying to say. At least for networking and all of it. Like, this is what I was going to share with you. I submitted to an art and craft show. Now, this isn't for a little while, but I submitted to it. And this is what the policy said. Now, if this wasn't a local show, I wouldn't have submitted to it, but this is what the policy said. It said, fill out the application, send the money. In other words, send your check, whatever you're doing, for the size, whatever you want. And you either get in or we shred your check. So this is how things are rolling nowadays. Now, to me, as an artist, so there's a couple things. It's not a sure thing. Send your check certified, have it tracked and signed. Absolutely. And you don't know if you're in or not. So if your check is shredded, then I guess that's the answer. And I kid you not. Now, I find that very interesting because back in the day when my mom and I grew up in art shows, literally standing amongst artists. Yeah, right? Wow. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. But back in the day, we could get in an art and craft show. Like I said, I grew up in art and craft shows, all over New England. We just went and we were in. I mean, it wasn't like today. And even here in Vermont, we have a big co-op in Burlington that I was a part of 25 years ago for a number of years with little tiny kids on my hips. Actually, it was over 25 years ago, and because my kids were really little, and they're all up there now in their 30s, right? So they were on my hips, and I would bring my fried dough down there with my artwork and get in, every Saturday. That's how we get in. And we'd pay every Saturday we get in and we'd make whatever we make. I inquired about getting back into that. And Burlington in Vermont, I'm just going to be honest with you, is not what many of us consider now a place to walk down the street by ourselves anymore. It is not. It has changed. So, but I asked to get in it, and guess what? You have to have insurance. You have to, okay, their policies, registrations, and they don't know if they're going to accept you, and it's got to be this and it's got to be that. If it says Vermont, you have to be licensed and this, and it goes on and on and on and on. So the process for a working artist to get in there it could be next to nil if you're not able to afford the insurance that they want you to have. So it is so much, especially today when you think about it. Um, handmade stuff, handmade stuff is really valuable because you're not gonna come across it too much. And yeah, just share your piece. So it's like, but anyway, I mean, we could go on and on about it. But this is the thing with the art and craft shows. I am now taking 6 months to get into an art and craft show. So I just want to share that with you. It's taking more time today. You've got a budget because it costs more. And it might help if you give them a call and start talking to them before. You even, um, yeah, I mean, yeah, Laura, hi. And online sales. Okay. So I don't know. I just started grailed.com again. I am not really good at online sales, but I mean, I'm good at getting the piece on there, explaining it. If they buy it, boom. But uh, having multiple platforms for online sales or jumping onto Instagram the way they do, I don't do that. Not yet anyway. So, but now, and I think, I don't know if it was you, Laura, but somebody had asked me, Brenda, I think it was, had asked specifically, do you, can you please get an online platform? So that is my online platform right now. It's thegrailed.com. So I'll be putting my hats on there, and I have one of these on, but look, I have two in the making, two more I'm working on. And who knows if we're going to make more of these because that's a Laura project. I am naming my projects after my members. And and we've got the yo-yo project. Well, with that, I understand that like a piece like this, like the needle felted piece or like my hats, you're supposed to give them some kind of a like this hat, you're supposed to give it some kind of a name. Like this is not going to be sold, by the way. This I'm keeping. I actually really like this hat. But I could call this midnight denim hat. You remember titles projects genius. I mean, I could do that as long as we stay with just a few minutes. I'm going to buy a needle felting. I'm going to buy a needle for needle felting. Yeah. Oh, from Timu. Okay, Temu. Yes, Timu. I love your style. Thank you so much, Laura. Yeah, I'll model it for you. Even, I mean, I do like this hat. I do like this hat. It's comfy. I have to put my glasses on to see what it looks like, though. See, and you can switch it any way you want. But the reason I love this hat is I could go outside in the sun and I am totally, totally going to get shade. So I don't have to have a cap that sticks out. I don't care for the caps that stick. Thank you. Thank you. Th- Elise is Brianna's sending love to me. I gotta tell you though, that's the thing. That's, I think, why I can't do the cookie cutter. Each piece is made it's made with TLC. There's no doubt about it. And fun. So, yeah. So this weekend, tomorrow, actually, I'm going to just tell you, I want to share this with you. I know this is getting to be a lengthy video, but I haven't been on here and I'm just so happy to be live with you. But I do want to share with you. I'm going to the guild tomorrow and I'm not going to go like I was going to go live from there, like just for the heck of it, because usually now we're doing our lives on Friday, but I was going to do an extra. I'm not doing it because guess what? That is a public Wi-Fi. And that is where recently, remember, I was telling you about all the thingamajiggy going on with the virus and my potential. We caught it and it didn't go anywhere, but it could have. But it was from there. And the reason I know it was from there is because when I was there live, I was doing a live with you guys about a month ago there. And what happened is in between, like we took a break, we were doing the morning and then we were doing that. Yeah, stay clear of it. But I was gonna go into Facebook to just check it, and I couldn't get in. That is when it happened because guess what? Then when I was able to get in a number of weeks later, boom, that went. So if I do anything there, what it will be are clips. Now, what we're doing there tomorrow is what they call demos. When you join an art guild, at least in Vermont, and I'm sure where you are too, they want the artist to come out there and sit and work. So, and of course, I have so many projects going, but the bear is uh, number one completion for this weekend. So I'll be working on the bear's blanket, on his saddle blanket tomorrow. I'll be doing Boro Sashiko. So I may take some clips, throw them over on Patreon to share with you. That is now our hub for those of you who don't know. Um, if you're on YouTube, the reason we have Patreon is because it's a hub where we can throw our artwork up, talk about it, this and that. And I throw posts, I'm going to say almost every day of the week. And on the weekend, I've been doing because I just want to share. It's like, I can't do this and not tell my artists and friends. It's like now I have to throw that up there. So I may throw some clips your way on what's going on, if there's anything that goes on special at the Artist Guild tomorrow. So now with that, um, we'll get to the yo-yos before I forget, because I don't want to forget those. And the other, yeah, I guess I got all the scraps I wanted to share with you. So I wanted to make sure I got all that information out there. And we're going to move this coffee because the chances of it ending up out of the cup are pretty high. Anyway. Oh, this was the other thing I wanted to share with you. This piece back here, Bridge of Life. I had this was it got tucked back there again. But this is, I just want to show you this up close. If I don't know if you can even see it. There's a shimmer on this yarn. Eh, this is a thrift shop yarn. Like, I would not buy this yarn. See, this is the thing about scrap fabrics and working eco-friendly. It gives you ideas you would never think of before. Yes, public Wi-Fi is dangerous, especially if you're on it. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm learning that, and it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna um yeah, you're just kind of out there. I spilled my coffee on my yarn once, and well, the thing is the coffee can stain it. You don't have to, if it's yarn that you want it to stain, you don't have to worry about making the coffee and putting it off. I don't know if anybody knew that, but coffee, yeah, it stains, but it can stain beautifully too. Yeah, I put it all the way over to the side. But yeah, this yarn, it is just a little shine to it. And so this is the yarn that I have on the arches. If you look at that bridge piece again, this is and when you look at it in person, it's shiny. It's very shiny. But I don't think it's coming on the camera like that. So now I want to share with you the yo-yos. So I'm going to share with you how my hour went. And it didn't go at all like I thought. I woke up early and I said, I'm just going to do an hour of yo-yos. I'm just going to do an hour of yo-yos and jump on and tell them how it went. And so these are the yo-yos I wanted to do. You've seen all of these. There's nothing new here, actually, at all. And this is the reason. I spent an hour, just about, I'm going to chalk it up to an hour because it was pretty darn close. Getting out, I'm just going to show you this, fabrics. And these have all just been these fabrics that my friend gave me. There's a ton of this. This is perfect for yo-yos. But I got those out. And these fabrics that I got out that I cut. So I got these out. Well, I'm going to tell you, by the time I got the fabrics out, looked at them and decided these are the ones I want to go with, the large yo-yos, measured them because these are 14 by 14 diameter, and I'm using my because I sewed up my proxy. By the time I cut more of these out and did all of that, it was almost an hour. Okay, Laura, you have a wonderful day. And yes, enjoy. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for being here. So, I am so grateful for all of you, I have to tell you. But yeah, so by the time, and I wanted them larger than these. These are multiples I had cut out before. There's a lot of these here, actually. So, guess what? Now I am ready to sew. Now I am ready I can sit down because I'm not going to do that again. I am not going to sew my yo-yo that I want to use to trace to cut. But look at this fabric. I wanted a fabric that pops and I'm not using. This is what took time is I had to it wasn't that I was being picky about the the designs because I wanted to be hodgepodge, but I needed the size, the volume, the length, and all of it to make my larger yo-yos. So now I'm going to take another half an hour after this, and I'm going to cut a bunch more of these. And then then I'm going to sit and sew. But I wanted to share that with you because it threw me when I said, you know, see how long it takes you to make your yo-yos. I forgot about preparation to get to the yo-yos. There's preparation. And it's not that I forgot. It's I wasn't taking it into account. So, yeah. So anyway, this is definitely it is a project that's monotonous. I'm not gonna say it's not. This is why I'm making this one quilt, and I think that's why I went bigger. 'Cause I'm thinking in my own mind, well, it's less yo-yos all in all. So, anyway, that's another thing I'll be working on this weekend. And then there's just one more thing I'm going to share with you, a side note, a side project that I'm going to be doing, and I probably won't share it until I'm done with it. But I started a series, a drawings portraits. I'm not a portrait artist, like with the dimensions and the shading and this and that. I don't I like to design. I like to just draw the likeness because I do caricatures. Like in a heartbeat, I can do a caricature. So do caricature of the person I want, celebrity or whatever. So I did caricatures of the women. Primarily, it started with the women in the Underground Railroad. And then I kind of added, I've been adding women, and I call it Women. The series is Women Leaders for Change, women who have made a difference in change in our world. And Harriet Tubman, Maya Angelou, and and I have Mother Teresa, Queen Victoria, because she teamed secretly, or so there's word that with Harriet Tubman and not Martha Stewart, but forgot her name for a moment. But anyway, I have all, and I'll share them with you because I have them. I've kept them. They've been on Saatchi, but I would like, if they sell, I would like them to go as a series. But anyway, with that said, I saw Princess Catherine's portrait done recently, and I was shocked because Princess Catherine is absolutely stunning. If you look at her features, they're stunning, especially her smile, and just she has a very gracious look about her. And yeah, I will share these with you. Now I draw fairly quickly, and then I take my time with the designs. So I'm doing this side project. I am going to draw a portrait of in my style of Princess Catherine of Wales, and I'm going to share it out there. And I'd like to even send the original to her, and I'm going to tell you why. The person who did her portrait did her. I'm shocked, like, because it does not even look like Princess Catherine, and it's not it doesn't exude the beauty and elegance, and because that's what she had. You know, everybody has a character and everybody has something that stands out. So I don't see the features that are stunning in her standing out in this portrait. Anyway, with that said, that's a side project I will be beginning, and so I have to make sure I have art paper for that. I don't know if I do. And um there I am scouting also this weekend for wool yarn, because I want to do the Laura project this next week coming up. We're going to be doing more of these little I'm very I want to do these little pouches um and get those going. That's our Laura project. And anyway, with that, I think that that's it for today. I know it's almost been an hour. I just want to say to everybody, I haven't drawn much for 50 years. You know, it's so easy to put the pencils and the paint to the side. Oh my God, yes it is. I know, me too. I am too. I mean, yeah, a half a century, three quarters, closer to three quarters of a century. You know, I mean, yeah, where does the time go? I don't know. We start talking in terms of centuries, fractions of the century. You can't make this stuff up. But so with that, yeah, I'll definitely share my so when you're out there, Laura, get some paper and pencil, because when you see my work, you're gonna I know, because I get so excited over it. You'll probably be inspired. You'll be like, "Where's my pencil?" But yeah, so I'll share that with you, my style and everything, because it's I really lean towards what I call the primitive style and ancient style. I don't get into the contemporary. I do that in all of my work, you know, whether it's needle felting, crocheting, or whatever it is. I just don't get into the contemporary. Um, I have paper and pencil, just not much courage. Well, when you see my work, totally you will have courage, because my work, and I had thought about this over the years as an artist. I totally, like all of us, have the opportunity, if I want, to learn realism. Absolutely. I could draw. I could sit and copy that and take hours. My personality, no way. There's no way I'm going to sit there and do this much of a drawing to get to the real and layers. I've investigated it. You have to do layers of the shading to get that type of dimensions. So guess what? I don't do it. I do the likeness, I do the caricatures. I love the caricatures. And I was posted and I had gotten a gig to do for a wedding right here in Vermont. She paid me 50%, good amount of money. And guess what? She paid me 6 months early and guess what? I didn't touch it because I knew better. I told her, I'm not touching it. It's going to sit right there until the wedding. And then sure enough, she canceled. I'm just old enough that I know this stuff. If you pay me 50% 6 days before the wedding, okay, if I feel pretty good about that, but it will still sit there until you're actually married. So anyway, I don't put the gigs out there because it's wishy-washy and like that. So and plus we have all these viruses nowadays. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I do any gigs, what I might do is, and I was thinking about this just for the fun of it, is sit front of the guild, the art guild, and just do a quick draw. And I mean quick. I do mine in like 2, 3 minutes tops. That's done. And I'll share it with you. There's some of my clips of me doing over on TikTok again. But anyway, with that, so that's everything going on, or at least almost everything. There's so much going on, but yeah, and just the way I do it is I just kind of do like I wake up and I say, or I don't wake up, I usually look at it in a week and I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on this a little bit in the morning. And then by afternoon, this and this and this is what I would really like to be doing. Do I get to it? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. To love loose painting. Yeah. I would love you to share. That's the thing over on Patreon. You can jump on the little hub over there and you can share and and people love that because sometimes you could even ask, like, let's say you want to do your work on commission, or there's sites out there people can say, hey, go to this site and post your name and that you're an artist, and you can get connections to do your work. See, a lot of, yeah, Laura's saying I'm not very good, but I bet you're really good. I bet everybody's good. I'm going to tell you a really quick story. You just kind of got me going here on this with that not very good. I worked with this artist a really long time ago, and he was doing what I thought was cartoons. And he says they're not cartoons. He says, but it is, what was he calling it? It was like a child painting. And I'll have to research the right name for you. But it's actually a whole genre now. It's a whole category in art where the artist draws like a kid. Like you draw the stick figure. It's not abstract. It could fall in that area, but it's not. And because it's so intriguing, and he said something like what you're saying, oh well, I'm not very, and then he showed me his work, like what he does, and I was astounded. The artist is always the one who thinks they're not. I'm the same way until someone tells me, like this piece right here, until I heard from somebody, it was a TikTok, Instagram, the exhibit, until I hear someone say, "Oh my God, Carmela, that's great." I'm always a second guessing too, because the loose drawing is not accurate. Oh yeah. Yeah. I I am totally for that. I probably do that and don't even know it. And I think I'm calling it abstract. Um, but yeah. So I'm gonna say I'll connect with you over on Patreon and let you know how my day goes tomorrow. And yeah, I'm not gonna go live over there. It's not happening. And actually, the last interview I did there, that file was corrupted and gone, absolutely gone. I had a second interview, and it was an excellent interview. I feel so bad for the artist, but yeah, you can stitch. Now, I know I do loose or free form stitching, and with my sewing machine, I got to bring that out and about, because when I do the hats, when I do these, I like to do a top stitch to just really secure it really, really well. And but yeah, there's a stitch called free form stitching. And there's some women out there, artists, not just women, artists, and they just go to town. They take the foot off of their sewing machine and pew, 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 pew. And I've tried it. I've tried doing different things with it, and I like it. I just let it go. And it's a whole, you can actually stitch. I don't know if you know this, but you can actually stitch with a sewing machine or sashiko stitching your needle felted piece. So you can actually do that. So we'll do that, because this has got to be revamped. This one's really old. He's holding a Valentine heart, and I think I'm gonna take that heart off, because I want to kind of give him a basket and maybe dress him up a little bit. Anyway, so anyway, with that, yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, you can just about anything you think of, you can get that sewing needle out and stitch. I mean, just do it. It's the same with drawing. If you like, when you feel the inkling, just go for it. Because when you don't, when you ignore it, that saying that it just goes away. It does. And you can get it back. Of course, you can get you're talented inherently. You're going to get that back. But it might take you a little bit practicing to get it back. Yeah, mixed media on needle felting, absolutely. Yeah. You can, that's what this is. That's what this is. And they call this like the kind of the Nuno felting, but it really is mixed. I just love it. And sometimes less is more. Sometimes, a few little beads, that's all you need. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, I do. I hope that you are inspired, and know that what you do, if it makes you happy, do it. Absolutely. Because it will show in your work, and it will make someone else smile. So with that, I will wish you a wonderful, beautiful weekend, and I will see you all next week. And we have lots of projects on the table, and we'll probably be able to get to a live by Wednesday instead of Friday next week, because now this project is done. I was working on that past couple days. So anyway, with that, you have a beautiful day, and you are my inspiration. And I wish you love and light, and we'll see you on the flip.